This is not a trick question about what I'm going to ask right now. Do you believe in people? Really? Do you really believe in people? When you believe in people, it changes what happens in relationships. So, a few years ago, I got a good buddy who started kind of like a ministry for families, and specifically he wanted to start these retreats for fathers and sons. And the whole week was just phenomenal, being out in the mountains and hiking and just being together, father and son hanging out. But the best day was day 2. And day 2, we got to meet this guy right here. This is Jeff Wobig, okay? Jeff Wobig was a former SEAL, sniper. In 2009, they do this annual competition. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, called the Warrior Challenge. The Warrior Challenge is to see, maximum warriors, to see who is the best soldier in the entire United States military. So they take the top 2 guys from every division of the military, and they take a day and they compete against each other. Jeff was chosen from the Navy and dominated the event. Like, he won by several minutes with a detached tendon in his elbow. This dude was incredible. So he's now retired. He was in private security. He was going to be there all day with us, and he was going to teach us how to shoot a 700 Win Mag and to hit a rock. You can see it. It's way up in this mountain up here, several hundred yards away. Every man who was a part of that hit that rock under his guidance. It was an amazing day. He was telling stories. It's unbelievable. I remember when he got out of his truck, it was like this huge black Chevy pickup, like 33-inch, jacked up in the air. I mean, it was like, he gets out, and I feel like the ground shook, you know, when he got out. I'm like, square-jawed. I look at him, like, oh, dude. Like, I'm going to be honest. It was an instant man crush, right on the spot. It was like, wow, this. You know when you're in the presence of greatness, and like that was a moment. And it was a really great day. And at the end of the day, right before he left, Jeff had gone through some challenges in his own time as a kid. And so now as an adult, he really had kind of a passion to help young men who were kind of going down paths that weren't too great. So he likes young men, and he saw Joel, and he was chatting with Joel on the back deck. And right before he leaves, he goes over and he's like talking to Joel, my son. And he goes over to him, and he's right in his face. He's like, listen. He's like, whatever you do in life, you go for it. You are capable of doing anything. Like, I'm starting to watch my son's eyes, like they're just kind of starting to get a little bit big. And he's like, don't let anything hold you back. He said, are you ever going to be afraid? He said, of course you're going to be afraid. He said, but when fear comes knocking on your door, and he said this in only a way that a Navy SEAL could say it. He said, I want you to open the door. I want you to grab it by the throat. And I want you to say, not today, fear, not today. And I'm like watching this. And like Joel's eyes are getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, I feel like I got goosebumps on my skin. There's this huge lodge right next to me. And I wanted to run through like the logs in that lodge. I knew I got hurt really bad. But I was so inspired in that moment. And I watched my son change in front of my eyes. I literally watched him grow. I watched him expand in front of me. I think about that. I think about how pivotal that experience was in his life. And I think, how instrumental, how significant was that moment for my son's life? Regardless of whatever happens throughout the course of his life, I'll be grateful for Jeff Wobig, for the influence that he had. He understands human potential. He had a high belief in people. Hey, thanks again for watching today's video. And before you go to the bottom of the screen, like us on Facebook,
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you go to billcoxcoaching.com. Sign up for our regular newsletter to help you move from success to significance and lead your life in such a way that you live a legacy. Have a great day.